Hello Gemini and welcome to my channel Green Line Goddess Tarot. Okay, this is your mid-month reading. Let's see what is coming through. We have Nightingale. Beautiful. This is an energy of expressing yourself, expressing your beauty. Nightingale has the most beautiful song of all the birds, but it's also by the moon, so it's something that's very ethereal, potentially, something that's very intuitive, something that's deeply internal as well. So there's something very beautiful that you're expressing at this moment in time, which is absolutely beautiful. The element of air, Nightingale. I love it for you. So let's see what else is coming through. Oh, that one fully zoomed out. Let's see. We've got the Hanged Man, patience and perspective. Interesting. And it's kind of like saying, you know, the Nightingale, just say you were a singer and you wanted to use your voice and it was a beautiful voice that you have or you're developing. The Hanged Man is saying it does take time for this skill and this ability to develop, and that perhaps there's something you wanting to put out there or express at this moment in time. It doesn't have to necessarily be singing. That was just an example. But that whatever it is that you're wanting to express and put out there, it's like, I want to do it now, I want to do it now. But the Hanged Man is saying it needs a bit of time, to kind of practice or to really master the art of what it is that you're doing, or maybe it's just not the right timing to put this thing out there to express what it is that you want to express. So it's like you've got something really beautiful inside of you ready to come out and expressed, but there is going to be a little bit of waiting time coming in with the Hanged Man. So a little bit of patience is required, which can be frustrating, but I feel like there's a new perspective that's being gained here, or there's some kind of new insight that's being gained here through the waiting. And it's so that when you do finally express what it is that you need to express here, it will kind of be even more beautiful, even more potent. It will kind of be, in a state that is sort of, at the top of its game kind of thing. It's the right frequency, I guess, is how I want to express it. So it's almost like, they're saying, just say you wanted to release a song and you want to see if it's going to be in one of the top hits, and you've written this song and you think it's ready to be recorded and put out there. But if you let it sit for another week or two, perhaps there's like a little section that just will get tweaked, or there's an extra bit or some that can be added that just gives it that extra, like kind of je ne sais quoi, kind of that little extra bit. So that's kind of what I think is waiting. It's just the waiting is getting that little bit of dazzle on top, or that little bit of like what was missing kind of thing. So what's shifting and changing? Cup 3, Pluto, Cancer. Okay, interesting. I love it when Pluto comes in, and it's this energy of, this is the card of celebration, quite literally. So there's some delays around the celebration. I feel like this is a gift that is returning to you, Gemini, in some way, shape or form, which is really fantastic. But it feels like this is like the second chance or the second time around you're revisiting, or it's coming back to you in some way, shape or form. And yes, this is something that is going to be celebrated, but it's going through a transformation process at this moment in time. So it's about waiting for that transformation to occur. Again, the patience and the perspective is coming in. So these are sort of some of the things that are the themes that are coming through for January, the last 2 weeks of January. The other thing that's happening is, if I can get these card shuffling, we've got the Nine of Pentacles coming out for you, is that all the planets, and by the third week of January, all the planets that are retrograde are turning around, turning direct. So there's this sense of flow, like things can move forward at that point. And so it really could be it's kind of, they're showing me like a flow of energy, like suddenly you're in the warm current and things can move so much faster, or can be expressed so much more easily, or can be put out there and received in a way that you're wanting them to be received. So that's kind of like an energy to take advantage of the energy. Here you are, the Knight of Swords, wanting to rush in. And interestingly, we've got another bird here on the Nine of Pentacles. So I really think that this beautiful communication is going to be important. The World card, it's about completing something potentially before you put it out there. Judgment is review. The Three of Wands, the Ten of Wands, there's a little bit of like work still to be done. The Five of Wands. So I can see it's like you want to rush in and do this, but there's a bit of conflict around it. Yes, a bit of conflict. And look at all these fives. Oh, my goodness, Gemini. What is coming in? But the Star card comes in. Okay, so it's a little bit of an energy of like the tortured artist. I have to say this reading is like we struggle for our art, but in the end you put this thing out and it's like magnificent. So it's got a little bit of that energy. And whoa, the Ace of Wands as well. Fantastic. So it is coming, the Ace of Wands, absolutely. Like the new beginning is here. You're being very strongly guided towards it. It potentially could feel like wishes coming true when it does come in with the Star. And this is potentially something that you really, really want, but there's a review process around it. So again, it's an energy of something that you thought was over or done with, or, it's an old energy is coming back and being revisited. There's a rebirth. There's a second chance, something you thought was over and completed and done. I'm never going to do that again, or I'm never going back there. It's coming back. So yes, interesting. And it feels different this time. That's the thing. So we have, this is the situation, the Nine of Pentacles. If you're single, this is kind of being just happy, single, fancy free, just, it's kind of just, in general, like it doesn't matter what your relationship status is, but in general, it's just about being happy in your own skin. It's a very independent energy, feeling quite free. And, there's enough around. This can be the card of luxury as well, of just having a few nice things around you that you're really enjoying, your things. These are my things and this is how I like it, kind of thing. And I'm happy kind of doing my thing. This is what I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles. I'm just doing my thing. I'm talking to the birds here, quite literally, having fun, communicating, or, working with ideas, or just whatever. This could be a very creative energy as well, but it's like you're just doing your thing, having your little like moment, your little fantasy, or whatever it is, your little creative inspiration, or just doing your thing. Crossed by the Knight of Swords, this is the card of Gemini. This is like, what's blocking you is this sense of determination, stamina, like I need to rush in. I need to just do this right away. And that's kind of what's blocking you, whether it's like you want to do it right away or whether there is quite literally something stopping you from doing that. That's part of what this is as well. In your conscious mind, we've got the World card. This is ending of cycles and completion. So it might be trying to rush the process a little bit. That could be something that comes through with the Nine of Pentacles crossed by the Knight of Swords. But on a bigger picture, this is the World card as something that you thought was over or completed and finished. But the thing is that, and you're kind of like wanting to move forward, but at the base, there's the Judgment card. There's a second chance energy here. So, and if you are wanting to rush something to completion or put something out there, then it's saying there's a review process coming in with the Judgment energy. So it kind of, there's two different things happening here, Gemini. So working with two different stories, but the Judgment energy, absolutely. Second chance, this is the rebirth that comes in. So there's a beautiful, beautiful rebirth that's coming through with the Nightingale, which is lovely. In the recent past, we've got the Three of Wands. So it may be that you've tried this. This could be a long way into the past, but it could be recent as well. But this is something you've potentially tried and maybe you didn't get the results back, or you were just still waiting and it felt like nothing was happening, or that you put some stuff out there or put something out there and you didn't get what you wanted back. So it's almost like, okay, maybe I won't do that again, or maybe, that's not for me, or maybe that person's not for me, or whatever this is that's occurred here with the Three of Wands. There's a sense of some kind of disappointing result has come through. So it really, again, it's the waiting, the patience, the perspective. There's been a lot of waiting with something. And again, if you've been wanting to complete something or put something out there, you've been waiting for like some kind of green light, or that you this is your job, or you can move ahead, or this is your person, we're moving in together, or where you've got the home, or whatever it is that you're waiting for. It's kind of like, why is it not happening? So this is in the near future, we've got the 10 of Wands. So this again is an ending as well. You know, the 10 and the World are both endings, and the Judgment is the double 10 as well. But then we've got the Ace, which is the new beginning. So the 10 of Wands is that the waiting around might become heavier and heavier and heavier, more burdensome, the longer it feels like you've got to wait for something, or so that can feel like, you know, is this, you know, are we there yet kind of thing? But this is also, if we go back to the other story that we're talking about, this is something returning that you potentially given up on, or kind of went, no, that's not for me for whatever reason. This is something that potentially you've carried around, a burden, for a long time. You know, it was my dream to sing and I never did do that. This is an old dream that is returning here in some way, shape or form, and it's connecting you to your gifts, which is really beautiful, something beautiful inside of you that needs to be expressed. So yeah, again, we've got the 10 of Wands, and then we've got the Ace of Wands. The 10 of Wands is the ending. The Ace of Wands is the rebirth. But it does have to go through this Judgment energy, which is things from the past, or things that you thought were laid to rest or completed or dead. You know, this is the dead rising up and being cleared out. There's a review and it's being cleared out, quite literally, the Judgment energy. It may even be quite literal they're saying with the energy of judgment of, you know, maybe, again, back to the example of singing. And like I said, this is just an example of you sang for somebody and they were critical, or you received some kind of judgment that you weren't happy with, disappointing. And it's like you shut down your throat chakra in some way, shape or form is coming in here. But this beautiful blue of the Nightingale, the blue of the throat chakra of the moon here, that's what's opening up again. We can see the light starting to open. So there's something within your throat chakra, which is the chakra of communication, that is opening up, ready to be expressed, which is really beautiful. Now, conflict coming in. 5 of Wands. It's been a battle. Potentially there's been a struggle or a battle around this whole thing, depending on, you know, no matter what it is. This is also where you potentially testing the waters again, like getting competitive again. That can be the 5 of Wands too. There's also the 5 of Swords. 5s represent conflicts. You got 3 lined up here, ready to go, 3 in a row. So no matter what, you're at this kind of crisis point of commitment or completion that comes in, and it's kind of reached this point where it's like, need to overcome a little bit of a hump in order to move forward. So the 5 of Swords is, and again, conflict. This is more like a battle or a test or competitive energy. This is the 5 of Swords is more like you disagree. Sorry, Gemini. We've got the dogs making a ruckus in the background, and suddenly Miss Stella appeared like magic. The magic of editing. But what I was going to say is this 5 of Swords is a little bit, this is more like disagreements. This is like, I don't agree with your opinion. I don't agree with what you said. There's been a fallout of some sort. I've walked away. But then it's kind of like, well, what has been the consequence of that? There's a feeling of being left. I just feel empty. There's this sense of feeling empty after a conversation that was had, you know. Maybe there was a sense of it didn't land well, the information, or you weren't happy with what was said, but that's an energy that came through. So we also have the 5 of Pentacles as hopes and fears, and this is very much an energy of scared of, this is feeling like, there's not enough, there's something lacking, that there's going to be some kind of consequence or ramification. There's going to be like, maybe I'm not going to be paid as much, or I'm going to be missing out on something. It's this sense of, or feeling rejected as well, the Five of Pentacles. So this is hopes and fears of like not wanting to try this, and then maybe you don't make any money, or maybe you're just feeling like, there's all these kind of fears and doubts that suddenly pop up, and memories and conversations from the past that are revisited here. But we have as the outcome, if I can reach it, just from lovely Miss Stelly, is the Star card, which is like, you've got nothing to worry about here with the Star card. This is wishes coming true. This is feeling very divinely guided, this is feel the fear and do it anyway. This is the universe saying, you know what, you might have all these old memories and fears and doubts, but you've been given this sense of this is the right time, and you're being guided towards this, and feeling so much more hopeful and more positive as well. It's about connecting into your spirit and how your spirit is feeling with this, rather than worrying about all the other stuff. So that's why we've got the Ace of Wands as an overall energy as well. So this is like something's being initiated and activated within you. It's an ignition point where something that you thought had gone out, a flame or a spark that you thought had gone out, lights up again, and you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So, but this is like, if this is, if you're thinking, well, I never want that person back in my life again, this is not that person. Like I said, this is something that felt like it was buried within your soul, something like a gift or something that you had to say, or something you've got to offer the world that is ready to come out now. It's part of your light. It's part of your inner shine that's coming out. It's part of your spirit. So it really is, not connected to anything. If it is an old flame, it's somebody you're going to be happy to see. Or if there's a reignition of a spark, it's something that you're going to be happy with. It's not somebody that you're like, I never want to see them ever again kind of energy. Potentially memories of that might be coming up in these fives here, but that's not connected with the new energy, because Pluto's saying you're a different time, this is a different person, and so there's going to be a different outcome. And so that's the Pluto energy. So this is your affirmation card. It says, I am beautiful and everybody loves me. I radiate acceptance and I am deeply loved by others. Love surrounds me and protects me. Beautiful. And I'm just going to pull a charm for you, Gemini. The first charm for 2023. Oh, I forgot that Stella doesn't like, I've had a break from the charms and I forgot she doesn't like it. Okay, we have beautiful, the beautiful butterfly. But I also read this one as a moth, and I read it both. Butterfly represents transformation and change. It really is. It's very Pluto-like energy. But the moth flies to the light. That's like your light, your spirit, the Star card coming in and guiding you, the guiding light. So trust the guiding light. That is going to help you transform something beautiful that is coming in, that is a part of you, an expression of you that needs to be expressed and said, or creatively put out there, whatever this is in your life. And it will happen all at the right timing. It's all kind of converging. There's like a convergence point here. And look at beautiful Miss Stella here. She's just like, yep, I'm now just super comfortable with this, super comfortable. Whereas a moment ago she was flicking a tail, still got a little bit of tail flick. Imagine the tail flick with like those 3 5s all piled up. It's kind of like, ooh, conflict. But she's getting a lot more comfortable here in this situation. And so I feel like you're going to gradually get more and more comfortable with expressing this part of yourself, or reconnecting to this beautiful energy of communication, the throat chakra. Something beautiful is being expressed in your life. So this can be the expression of love as well. It's something beautiful of a very high frequency. So yeah, that's your reading, Gemini. Really beautiful reading. So thanks so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share. I'm going to try and take a photo of your cards now, and Miss Stelly's sitting on them. So please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and take care.